Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. Whether it's right now live or later on, I am grateful for your presence and your participation. As always, please practice according to your condition. Thank you. I'm just going to... Okay. So let's begin. Seated tall and straight, supremely still. Close the eyes and go inward. Before creation and beyond creation, there's always God, always sitting in the heart space, the center of the chest, at the right side of the physical heart. Merge with God now, attuned to its higher consciousness. We'll begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you are everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. God will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. Let's do the Om Namah Shivaya mantra, which means I bow to the inner light. all beings everywhere, be happy and free from suffering and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we acquire a strong desire for liberation from pain and suffering, and may we cherish no ill feelings against each other, only peace, love, compassion, and joy. So, let's begin by stimulating the chakras going along the central psychic channel, starting at the root and just stimulating those main energy centers located at the root, the sacral area, the navel, the heart, the base of the throat, the third eye, and the crown. So we're just going to repeat the Bija Mantra, this is to say the seed mantra, associated with each of these energy centers. So we're just going to do the tone, and we're just going to allow the breath to carry it until we run out of breath. So it's just the same tone on the same pitch. So just join in when you're ready. The first one is Lam. At the root. Lam, 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 lam. Bring your attention now to the sacral chakra, located just a few inches above the belly button, a little bit higher than a root. Vam. Vam, 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 vam. Now to the navel chakra. The sound is rum. Rum, 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 rum. Now the heart. The sound is yum. Yum, 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 yum. Move up to the base of the throat now. The sound is hum. Hum, 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 hum. Now the third eye. Sound is Om. Om, 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 Om. Finally, the crown, just one long sustained Om. Inhale together. Imagine all of these chakras as gateways. The idea is to open them up in order to allow the energy to fly right up. Eventually, when it hits the crown, the energy, that is when we can sense divine bliss and be merged with God. So this just try to always practice the intention of always trying to come into union with God. In order to do that, first and foremost, is to be in observance of the ethical rules. First and foremost, ahimsa. Be loving in all your actions, thoughts, and words towards all. So with that in mind, let's practice that intention of benefiting all, delivering benefits to all beings. Bring the hands together at the heart, the feet together. Let's start with a mantra for purification to purify the space, the grounds, and all the psychic channels within. Do it 3 times. If you know it, of course, chant it along. If not, just think of the effects of purifying the space, the grounds, and all the psychic channels within. You derive all the benefits as though you were chanting it perfectly. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabahya Pihantraha Sjihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabahya Pihantraha Sjihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabahya Pihantraha Sjihi. Now, let's charge up the body with the earth's energy. Stem the feet 10 inches apart. Bring your arms up high over the head. From the soles of the feet, inhale all the way up to the fingertips. Imagine you pulling the earth's energy right up the body. Holding the attention of the breath at the fingertips. Exhale all the way back down to the soles of the feet. Inhale again through your attention. Attract all the energy from the earth right up to the fingertips. Bring it right up through the body. Holding it all at the fingertips, hold the breath. Exhale all the way back down. As breath moves down, visualize the earth's energy just flushing the body with it. Charging it up. Last time, inhale, bring the energy right up through the body, through to the fingertips. Holding it at the fingertips, hold the breath. Exhale all the way back down. Feel fully charged with the earth's energy. Bring the arms down. We'll continue some exercises to prepare the body for the practice. Imagine you're the witness watching the body moving all by itself. Hands on the hips, starting off with head rolls. Move slowly. As the head turns, try to see the floor in all the directions. Try to bring the ears right to the shoulders, the chin right on the chest, the back of the head to the top of the back. And then roll the other way. Loosen up the neck. Shoulders down to keep the passage for the breath always open. Good. Now step the left foot forward. Get a little bit of balance and imagine you have a weight in your right hand. You're going to use it to just get momentum to swing the arm in circles. So go forward 4 times. And then backwards. If you need, you can support your shoulder with your left hand. Forward again. And back. And then switch sides. Right foot forward and then go forward again. Go backwards after 4. And forward. And back. And forward. And back. And release. Step your feet back together. Bring the elbows up over the head and clasp the elbows and then go to the left. Pulse a little bit, try to get a little bit deeper with each pulse without wrinkling the left side of the body at the waist. Coming up, go to the right. Stretch the left side of the body. Coming back up. Go from side to side at the speed that is suitable for you. And release. Bring the arms down and then sweep them up over the head. Inhale. Exhale, toss the body down. Nice light swings. Bend your knees as you come down. Make it a little bit more comfortable. One more. Just stay hanging down with the head heavy. And then roll your way back up. Next one's called lion's breath. You're going to imagine you're pouncing like a lion. So embody all the traits of a lion. Feel as though you're roaring. Open your eyes up wide and then let your tongue hang out as you go down into your squat. And coming back up. Shake up the wrists. Move the fingers very, very rapidly as though you're shaking water off your hands. And perhaps up and down, fly them with the wings of a hummingbird, moving so fast you can't even see them. It's like a blur. And release, drop the arms by the sides and just swing from side to side. Allow the arms to throw you deep into the twists. Allow the arms to slap against the body like heavy ropes or tentacles of an octopus. Try to see all the way behind and beyond. And then start to slow it down, eventually coming back to stillness. Bring the arms out to the side and we're going to just swing the right leg back and forth. You can hang on to a wall or a chair, whatever you need to. Try to get the knee right up to the shoulder. And bring that foot down, try it on the other leg. Release. So now, one more, standing in humility pose with your head down on your chest, and a gesture of bowing, of complete humbleness. 6 counts to come up, lifting up halfway on your off your heels and turn the palms up. So inhale, 2, 3, lift the heels of the palms, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, palms down, heels slowly come down, 2, 3. Inhale, feel as though the arms are floating by themselves. Rise up, 2, 3, push into the roots of your toes. Exhale, 2, 3, palms down, heels down, 2, 3. Inhale, 2, 3, lift up, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, palms down, heels down, 2, 3. One more time. Inhale, 2, 3, lift up, come up higher, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, palms down, heels slowly come down, 2, 3. Head again down on the chest, again in that gesture of humility. And the best thing you can do in the practice is offer up the fruits of the practice. Have no expectations, have no attachments to results. Do it because it must be done as though it were your divine duty. So now let's make our way to the front of the mat. So let's come to the front of the mat, the hands at the heart center. So Surya Namaskar, moving together, imagine moving together with all beings everywhere, like a school of fish to deliver benefits to all beings. Raise your arms up over the head. Fold down over the legs. Bend your knees if you need to. Bring your hands flat on the ground. Then a right foot slides back into a long lunge, lower the knees, sink down through the seat, raise the head. Come into high plank. Lower down the knees, bring the seat all the way back behind the heels to start. And then start to glide forward. Pull with your arms to propel you forward with more power and ease. Lift the head, bring it all the way back. Bring the seat all the way back behind heels. Once again, glide forward. You can push your elbows outwards if that helps. And come all the way back. One last time, brush your nose to the ground. Slide forward. Raise the chest, bring the head all the way back. Roll over your toes back into downward facing dog. Sink the heart towards the ground. We're going to step the foot forward to the hands. If you need to, you can lower the knee. Bring the right foot forward. If it doesn't make it all the way, just use your right hand to assist the foot forward. Then drop your seat right down low. Bring the feet together, chest on the thighs, head down again. Come all the way up to standing. Raise your arms over the head. Arch back as you see fit. Hands back to the heart. Bring the arms up over the head. Stretch the whole front of the body. Reach back. Go down. Forward fold. Chest again on the thighs. Head down. Left foot back into lunge. Sink down to the seat. Come into high plank. Down we go. Knees and seat all the way back. Forehead down. Glide forward into your Cobra. All the movements done smoothly, gracefully, like you're doing a dance. Connect the movements together seamlessly. Come forward again. Don't worry about the breath. Move in a way that feels intuitive, that allows the body to move fluidly with the breath. The breath will know what to do. Just try to keep it steady and even. Now, this time, roll over your toes back into downward facing dog. Melt the heart. Left foot steps forward. Again, make the adjustments as you need to ease up the movement. Bring the feet back together, chest on the thighs, head down. Come up to standing. Raise your arms over the head. The gesture of offering. Hands back to the heart. Lift the arms again. Hips forward, chest high. Come all the way down, Uttanasana. Right foot back into lunge. Make a curve in your spine. Back into downward high plank. Lower down, Ashtanga Namaskara. Knees, chest, forehead down. Pull with your hands again. Come forward and through into Cobra. Back into downward facing dog. Keep watching the body moving as though you're the witness. Right foot steps forward. Try to place the foot quietly so as not to disturb the witness who's watching. Fold down on the legs. Come all the way up. Hands back to the heart. Imagine that you're merging with God. So if God is watching, you want the experience to be as beautiful as possible. To watch, to observe. Left foot back into a lunge. Come into high plank. Lower down, Ashtanga Namaskara, knees, chest, forehead down. Right through into Cobra. Back into downward facing dog. Lift the seat up and back. Soften the line of the back. Left foot steps forward. Bring the shoulders over the fingertips so that you can get the foot closer to the hands. Feet together, forehead against the shins if your legs are straight. Come all the way up into Hasta Uttanasana. Hands back to the heart. Mats head on. Arms up over the head. Reach up high. Go down. Bend the knees. Bring the belly onto your thighs. Turn the hands behind the back. Pull the hands back. Telescope the chest forward. Exhale. Push the body against the legs. Make the legs come straighter. Pull the arms over the head to be in front of the head. Good. And then bring hands down, the right foot back. Lower the knee down, sink down through the seat. Raise your arms over the head. Reach up and back, Kapyasana. Make like a crescent shape, move with your body. And then bring the hands down. Now press into your hands right away. Swing the left leg all the way up and back, three-legged dog. Come forward into your high plank. If you can, lower your chest down. Slowly bend your elbows. If you need to, you can lower your knee down as well at the same time. And then the toes come down. Glide right through into the Cobra. Shoulders back. Make sure you don't jam up the neck with the lower back. Back into downward facing dog. Stretch. Right leg comes up and back. Legs just continuation of your back. And then bring the shoulders forward towards fingertips and step the right foot down again to between the hands. Bring the back, raise your arms up over the head, Kapyasana. Pull the arms over the head and then bring the hands back down. Step the back foot in to meet the right. Chest on the sides again, join the hands, extend to the crown, pull the body right down onto your legs. And then release the hands, bring them up over the head. Hips forward, stretch the front of the body. Hands come back to the heart. Raise your arms. Make the practice a moving meditation. Try to keep the mind always calm, always with the intention of offering to all beings. Hands behind the back, join together, extend to the crown, pull the body down. Release the hands down to the ground, left foot back, lower the knee, flatten out the toes, raise your arms over the head, gesture of offering. Abject surrender to God. Place the hands and swing the right leg up and back, Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come forward into your high plank, again, lower your chest down. Again, if you need to modify, but bring your knee down as well. Right up into Cobra. Downward facing dog. Left leg comes all the way up and back. And step the foot between the hands. Bring the shoulders forward to ease movement. Lower the knees, sink down to the seat. Kapyasana, raise your arms over the head, arch back. And bring the hands back down. Step the feet back together. Chest on the sides, join the hands. Extend to the crown and pull the head down, forehead towards the shins. At least get your chest on the thighs. If you need to keep your knees bent, no problem. Arms over the head. Move according to your condition always. Come all the way up, over the head. Hands back to the heart. Let's do one more cycle, right side then left. A little bit of a different variation. Reach the arms up over the head. Fold down over the legs. As though you're bowing. Lift the hand chest, bring your weight firmly into your hands. Lift up a little bit, lift your heels, and then see if you can glide back. You can walk back as well, coming into Chaturanga, hovering just above the ground or flat on the ground if that's too much. Come up into upward facing dog. Try to lift your hips and knees away from the ground. Push the shoulders back, pulse a little bit, try to get your chest forward, your head back. Open up the shoulders, make sure again you're not jamming up the neck. Telescope the neck out of the shoulders. Feel like a dog howling at the moon. Roll over your toes, tuck the chin in, and then downward facing dog. Try to make a curve in your spine behind your head. Try to drop your chest right towards the ground, flatten out your arms. Think of a dog, how it looks when it's trying to stretch its back. Try to make yourself look like that form. Now lift the heels, bend the knees, look towards the hands. You can bring your feet forward any which way you like, walking or hopping. Pull the body down onto your legs. Come all the way over the head. Hips forward. Don't crunch the lower back again. Hands to the heart. One last time. Arms up over the head. Pull them up high. And then pull the body down onto your legs. Lift the chest and head, press into your hands. As you go back, bend your elbows so you don't come down hard and fast. And you come up into upward facing dog. From here, round your back, tuck the chin in, and roll back into downward facing dog. Melt the hearts. Again, going through these two, between these two motions. Round the back for these two postures, coming up into upward facing dog. Arch the back, then round the back as you make it to the transition. Tuck your chin in, and then sink the heart when you arrive. One more time. Roll over your toes, round your back, tuck the tail. We come up gracefully into upward facing dog, right back into downward facing dog. Good, now from here, lift the heels, bend the knees, look between the hands. Bring your feet forward again, hopping or walking. Pull the body down onto your legs, Uttanasana. Again, a gesture of deep humbleness, bowing down. Come up. Hands back to the heart. Okay, pause here for a moment. Breathe in from the heart up to the brow center. Exhale back down to the heart. Imagine bringing God right into you, but in reality, God is always within, sitting in the spiritual heart. And release. So let's do some postures now, starting with balance postures. Press down with your left foot. Bring the right foot up. hold the inside of the heel, the thumb behind the heel. And if you can, raise the leg and the arm at the same time. So try to get your toes and your fingers on the same line. So it might be a little bit flatter like this, your fingers and your toes about the height of the shoulders. If you're more flexible, pull the leg up close to the shoulder. Lean to the left a little to get the left leg, the right leg up higher. If you need to, if it's too much, you keep your knee bent, or you can hold underneath your lower leg. Now be poised and graceful like a ballet dancer. Every posture, think to yourself, this is for you, God. Grant me higher devotion so I can always do your service. Now, release the leg, but make sure that you can continue to engage the leg so you can let the leg down slowly and not touch the ground if possible. Coming forward into gliding eagle. So bring the belly down towards the thigh, get the head about the height of the hip. Imagine you're an eagle soaring through the air. Skimming the surface of an ocean. Just visualize yourself as that great bird. Come all the way back up. See if you can go right back into ballet pose. Take your time. If you fall out of it, be unconcerned. Keep your mindset always the same, unchanging, undisturbed, like the witness. And release. Now try it on the other foot. Standing firm on that right foot, press down the edges of your feet, the toe pads. Take hold of the inner heel, make the adjustments as you need to, and then raise the foot and the fingers at the same time. And lean a little bit to the right, away from the leg to keep the balance. Look up if you have good balance. And then engage the leg so you can let the foot down slowly and with control. Come into eagle. If you need to, bend your knee and bring your index fingers to the ground first as you're finding your way into the pose. And then soar like the bird, like the great eagle. Coming back, press into the right foot. Take hold of the heel again. Right back into ballet pose. And release. Good. So come to the back of the mat. We'll do another sequence. Now, take the left wrist with your right hand, balancing T to start, maybe moving a little bit deeper. Take the left foot forward and hinge down, bring your head above the height of the hip, bend the left knee, and bring the right leg up. You can stay here like the capital letter T. Hips square, straight line from the toes to the foot. Try not to open up the hip, keep the hips even and level. Now if you like, you can interlace your fingers, bend the wrists, open up the palms so the fingers are 90 degrees to the arms. And see if you can bring your right leg up higher and pull the hands over, further forward so they're over your shoulders. If you need to, you can come into hummingbird. You can bend the knee if you're very tight in hamstrings, and you don't even have to join your hands. You can take your hands up, separated, just behind your back. Now from here, Adho Chandrasana. If you need to, you can have a block underneath your hand, if you have one handy, or do it against the wall. Your left hand comes down otherwise, fingertips on the ground, turn to the right, and get the right arm up, open up your chest to the side. So if you're doing against the wall, your whole back would be against the wall. Alternatively, you can place your hand on the wall in front of you, as so like this. Okay, so again, be creative to try to find your way to the pose. If you like, you can bend the foot, bend the knee and take hold of the foot, pull it back behind you, open up the hip a little bit more, look over your right shoulder. Push the foot away from your seats. bring back close to the seat and come back up. Press into your left foot and return. So let's try it on the other side. Hands behind the back. Hold the right fist, right wrist with your left hand. Take a step forward with the right foot and then come forward. Balancing T. If you found it hard the last time, you can even open up your arms like an airplane. If you want to go further, interlace your fingers and then raise the left leg up higher. Try to curve your back, bring your head forward, chest open. Try to get your left foot higher than the head and your hands in line with your shoulders. Or again, take the modification of hummingbird. Your foot close to your seat and your hands just separated. Tadasana is next. So get prepared by taking whatever props you need or going against the wall, or otherwise placing the right fingertips on the ground in front of the right foot, about a foot or so. Raise the left leg up, open up. Try to get your left leg up high, turn completely sideways. And if you like, bend the knee, take hold of the foot, and push it up and away from your seat. Left hip, left shoulder stacks on top of the bottom right hip and shoulder. Pull the foot towards you to release, bend the standing leg, and come back. Good. All right, so now step to the middle of the mat, turn sideways. Bring your fingertips together at the height of the shoulders. Jump your feet apart. Look to the left. Go into Warrior Two. So if you need to, just take a 180-degree jump so that you can see the camera. Look over your front fingertips. Warrior consciousness. Strong, determined, proud. Go a little bit forward, sink a little bit deeper. So when you bring your right hand down, the fingers might actually touch the earth. Swing the right arm up to meet the left. Virabhadrasana 1. Try to lift, square off the hips a little bit. Left hip moves back. If you need to, you lift your heel. You turn on your foot, the ball of the foot. Straight line from the fingertips all the way down to the base of the spine. Head back. And lower the knee down, flatten out the toes. Kapiyasana. Look at your shoulders a little bit, try to get them behind the ears a little bit. Keep the arms straight by your head. Pull the arms back. Now if this is too much, you can take all the opposite elbows, push the back leg into your arms, and then see if you can get your chest open a little bit more. If you're more advanced, you can maybe bring your hands together, keep your elbows close, hugging the sides of the head. Sink down low. Some of you might be able to take your foot. If you bring your head back, the foot might come right on the head. If it's too hard to keep your balance, you can bring your fingertips down and just imagine you're squeezing a sock behind your knee. So lots of different expressions. Cultivate your creativity. Use your imagination to find beautiful forms. Find, of course, God in all forms. Now release. From here, coming into lizard. Move the left foot out a little bit to the edge of the mat. Rock back and forth. Push off the roots to your toes. And then send the right heel back a little bit more. Lower the knee, flatten out the toes. Roll to the right. See if you can get the right form down. Roll to the left. Maybe the left form comes down. Extend through the heart. Telescope the chest forward. As you keep on lengthening forward, your chest will come close to the ground. Imagine you have hips in your weight pockets or something sitting on the back of your body on the seat. Eventually, maybe the whole chest will come down. Now you might want to bring your left arm to the outside of the foot if your chest is closer on the ground to give you more space. Those who are more advanced can do the bind. Your left arm go in front of the foot, around the outside and underneath the knee. This is if you're flat on the ground. And then the right arm. Left hand goes over your lower back, right hand goes over your back, join your hands together to hold the right wrist with your left hand. Fix your gaze like a lizard, merge with the form. Copy it physically and mentally. Achieve that being will send all its knowledge, all its tricks to you. You be one with them. Getting ready to come out. Press into your hands, come up, move the hips back, and just bring your hips back so they're over the back knee. Lift the toes up off the ground, scooch a little bit towards the center line. Adho Hanumanasana. Bow to the leg. Left shoulder comes the inside the knee. The outside the knee. Those who feel ready can pull your hips forward like you're doing a lunge again, and then just scoot your left foot forward. Bend the toes under, making your way into Hanumanasana. Pull the shoulders back if you can over your hips, and just pulse. Each time you inhale, imagine you're trying to squeeze the mat between your heels and your back toes. Exhale, yield a little bit, soften. Try to get your hips, your roots down. Those who are all the way down, come into Hanumanasana. If you can, bring your arms up. You can cross your wrists if you like, press the palms together. Hanuman is the embodiment of devotion, courage, and faithfulness. Embody those characteristics, reflect them in your posture. Think anything is possible, just like Hanuman's great feats. Jumping all the way over the island to get to the other side to rescue his master's wife. Good. And release. Bring the hands down. So it's a fun entry into actually slide your left heel back, coming first into Parivita Parsvakonasana. Come back up so your legs are like a box. So if I turn this way, right angles, nice sharp angles. Bend the toes under on the back foot. Do it this way first. Right arm up. Ankle the toe and the knee towards the right. And try to get your elbow down. The armpit sitting right against the outside of the leg. Left fist in a right palm. Sometimes a little bit easier to, as you push your hands together, left hand into the right, your belly comes higher than the thigh. And just start to spin. Push the chest towards the thumbs. And then try to, the hands, and bring the left shoulder back. You can also do some Anjali Mudra or take a bind. Bring your seat back, your elbows in the space below the knee. Just use a hand to guide the arm underneath the leg. Left hand goes over the back, hold it from underneath. And then left hip moves back, head moves forward, and then turn the chest all the way up. Left shoulder goes all the way back. Can bring the back knee up off the ground. Extend from the heel all the way to the crown. Good. Exhale, turn a little bit more. Chest and face looking right up. Break the pose, bring the hands down. From here, right into Vasisthasana. So you can just press into your right hand and just stack the left foot on top of the right or in front if you like. Make sure the right foot is flat. Pull the foot in a little bit. If you want, again, your foot has to be flat, your toes at about a 45-degree angle. Lift up your hips. Lock the hips. And then see if those more advanced can take your knee or the foot. Keep your hips high. Make sure you don't drop into your shoulder. Release, back down, gracefully into downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out, soften everything. And then step the left foot to the, between the hands, spin on your feet, facing the long edge of the mat again. Take your arms out to the side, come up. Go to the other side. Turn to the right. Bend into the front knee. Strong like a warrior. Come forward a little bit with a sense of purpose and direction. Imagine yourself as a warrior. Be like the warrior, mentally, physically, spiritually, always devoted. Now, swing your left arm forward again. You can lift your back heel if you need to come into warrior one. Ideally, well, eventually you can try to get your left foot flat on the ground, your knee close, your leg, your hips nice and low, so your knees almost to the ground. But straight back, vertical line. From the base of the spine right up to the fingertips. And from here, lower the knee down completely. Kapiyasana. Wiggle your shoulders back and forth. Try to get them behind the ears. You can do other modifications if you like. Keep your hands on your seat. Push into your seat, pull down, pull the shoulders back. Drop them down at the same time. Allow the head to fall back. Or a nice one that Dharma does nowadays a lot is just take hold of your opposite elbows and push your head into your arms. As you can hug your elbows to the sides of the head. Bring the back foot up. Spread your fingers. If you can get your foot close enough, you get your body high enough, your foot will touch the head. You bring your elbows together. Again, bring your hands down to the ground if you can't find a balance. Keep your hips very low so your hands do come down. Now release, bring the back toes back down. From here, we're going to move into lizard. So move the right foot out to the long edge of the mat, right to the right. Go back and forth a few times, try to get your hips to drop. Down lower. Lower the knee, flatten out the toes. Release, sink down again as though your hips were attracted to the earth or big weights in your hip pockets. Roll to the left, left forearm down, roll to the right, perhaps the right forearm comes down to you. Try to have your hips even. Again, come forward with your chest. Eventually aiming to get, even if the chest doesn't come down, at least try to have your knee higher than your shoulder. Keep your knee close to the shoulder too. Don't let it drop out to the side. Walk the foot out if you need to further. And then if you want, you can take a bind if you're more flexible. Imagine you're sunning yourself on the earth, on the warm earth, absorbing the warmth, like a lizard. Now come back onto your hands. Bring your seats back over your knee, back knee. Lift the toes on the front leg, Ardha Hanumanasana. Pull the body down, your legs. Notice how this is a gesture of humbleness. As your head comes down, always stay humble, expect nothing, and receive everything. Just do everything as though it must be done. It's your divine duty. You can stay here if you like, if that's already giving you enough of an edge, or bend the toes under your back foot. Hinge your seat forward like you're doing a lunge, just like we did Kapiyasana, and then just start to slide your foot forward. If you need to, move a little bit forward so your foot slides right up off the mat onto the ground. Depending what kind of flooring you have, the foot might slide a little bit more easily. Again, just pulse mindfully. Remember, you're trying to exercise ahimsa. If you hurt yourself, you put yourself in a place of pain and anxiety, this is what you're transmitting to others. This is not what you want to do. If you like, bring your arms over the head if you're flat down on the ground. Or if you want to work your thighs a little bit, even if you're not all the way down, you can try to come down. Bend the toes under. You can bring a block underneath your leg if you need to, and you can do it from here. Really push into your knee that base the back toes and the front heel. Okay, so lots of things you can do. Cross your wrists. Stay a little bit longer to make progress. You have to hold the poses a little bit longer. Release. Now from here, press into the front and the fingertips. Drag the right foot back. Move it in so that your legs are like a box. Parivrtta Parsvakonasana. Left arm up, angle the toe and knee towards the left and bring the elbow down. Left armpit sitting on the outside of the knee. And then again, make your way into your Sukha Parivrtta Parsvakonasana first. Easy version with your knee on the ground. Right fist in your left hand if you like. And then turn your chest up. Try to get as much twist as possible, like you're lying on your back. If you want, of course, take your bind, bend the toes under, lift the back knee up. Extend from the heel all the way to the ground. If this was all too much, just again, find your pose that suits you. Maybe stay more upright, your hand on your knee and your hand on your left hand on your, just outside the knee, upright, stay upright, and your hand on your seat, your right hand. So there's always something you can do. Just do it with your best efforts. It's the effort that's most important. Getting ready to release into Vasisthasana. Left hand down. Some of you might be able to come right into the advanced variation where you spin on your left foot. Make sure your foot's at 45 degrees. Base the big toe down. Take the knee or take the foot. Keep your hips high. If not, you come into Vasisthasana. Just stack your foot on top of the other one, like so, or even keep your knee down. Just keep trying to move to the edge of your potential so you can keep on defining a new one every time you come to it and go beyond. Break the pose gracefully. Back into downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften everything. Good. Try to get your head right down on the ground. Pull your head in a little bit. Let's do something here. So we're going to raise the left leg up. Keep pushing into your left hand and see if you can get your right hand back. Hold the ankle. If you're more flexible, try to hold the inside of the heel. Turn your heel in a little bit to make it a little bit more reachable. And bring the left foot up as high as you can. Try to get your leg as straight as possible as well. Now release, bring the right hand back, and the left foot comes down, repeat on the other side. If this is too much, you can just hold the edges of the mat, move forward, and then just work on just getting that nice curve behind your head, your neck, and your upper back. Just try to drop your chest down. Now, if you want to do the other, if you can, you do the other leg. Right leg comes up. Move the left heel in a little bit, and reach back, and take hold of the heel. So if you're holding the edge of the mat, it makes it a little bit easier to find your balance sometimes as well. And bring the right foot back down. From here, just step the right foot between your hands, spin on the long edge, on your feet, facing the long edge of the mat, come all the way up. Good, now bring your heels in a little bit, moving into easy Chakrasana. If I do it sideways, you can stay there. Otherwise, if you're facing the long edge of the mat, press your hands on your seat, bend your knees a little bit, turn the heels so your knees come over your toes, same angle roughly. And then allow the head to drop back. Really stay heavy on your feet. Press down to the edges of your feet, the toe pads, the heels. If you want, you can slide your hands One at a time, down, below your knees. If your hands are just gripping below the knees, you have more control. You roll your thighs outwards, at the same time you roll the shins inwards. Your thumbs come further between your legs. If you can, walk further down. Hands might come right to the heels. Now push your hips forward. Keep that counter spiral going. And try to straighten your legs a little bit more. As Dharma says, if you're a professional, you can go to Urdhva Dhanurasana. If your head is close to the ground, you can see the ground easily. And just take the right hand down to the ground, and then the left. To come back, if you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana, same way. Come onto your fingertips, push your hips forward, bring one hand. I like to press against the back, again, just underneath the knee. So you push your hips forward and you stay strong through your legs and your other hand. And everybody now just walk your way up. If your hands are somewhere on the legs, push into your seat and come back up. Arms out to the side. Hinge forward. Prasarita Padottanasana. Take hold of the ankles or step on your hands, your fingers with the edges of your feet. Try to bring your head right between your feet. Try to push your chest all the way through behind your legs. Lift the shoulders. Those you want can come into headstand from here. Either tripod, with your hands at 9 degrees behind your heels a little bit, or other variations if you know. So you can take your arms in front and try to come up. Try to straddle your legs up. You have to come right on top of your head, lift your hips, and try to straddle your legs up. Again, take your hand positions that are suitable for you to come up steadily, easily. If you're in headstand, make your way down, separate your legs. You have to really engage your core as you're coming down, as your legs come, your feet come close to the ground, so that you can land your feet very softly in the same spot right beside your head. And then take your arms out to the side. Everybody comes up. One more easy Chakrasana, hands on your seat. Adjust your feet, your heels a little bit closer together, toes pointing out. Again, come forward, bend your knees. The more you bend your knees, the flatter you become, the head will come close to the ground, and then you can think about taking other variations as you feel comfortable. Or just move your hands down the backs of your legs. Remember, you can only go as far as your imagination. Keep practicing with fierce determination. One day, perhaps the body will obey. Come back up, hands walking the way up one at a time, offset from one another, so that you remain steady all the way throughout. Arms up to the side, and then step your feet back together. Arms by the sides, Tadasana, stand tall like a mountain. From the base of the spine, imagine it's the base of the mountain, breathe all the way up to the crown. Imagine that as your summit. Exhale back all the way down to the base. Remain solid, unmovable like a mountain, unshakable in your devotion. Now come down onto your knees. Headstand, Shilshasana. So if you already know how to get into headstand, go ahead. Otherwise, I'll demonstrate some options. Make sure you can take hold of your elbows easily, not just touching, just wrapping, like holding them the outer edges. And then interlace your fingers, place them in front. Try to keep your forearms rooted down. Really press through the forearms and bring your head between your palms. Push your back of your head into your hands like a helmet. So you're bouncing more in the hairline and the middle of the head. Walk your feet towards the elbows as much as you can. And then raise one leg up. Bend the toes back, keep your foot close to your seat, and then just go up and down, up off the heel. Pulse lightly. Don't go fast, don't take big hard jumps, you will land on your back, possibly. Okay, so then, if you keep pushing through the back foot, if you keep pushing, you'll eventually be able to lift your toes up. You can even just tap the floor with your toes. Keep that foot close to the ground. Eventually you might be able to, if you can get your toes up and hover them for a bit, push your leg into your thigh, your belly, your thigh into your belly. If you keep pushing through the back foot, you'll eventually have your legs hanging about the same height. And that's when you can find a balance. Keep your toes active by flexing your feet. And this will engage all your muscles need to stay up. Okay, so we can try that one. Other options, hands nice and wide. I personally like to come onto the fingertips, fingers facing away, and walk your feet towards your fingertips, just below the knees, press against the elbows. And then you can just dance from one toe to the other. Bend your both toes back, tap the ground, and then eventually you might be able to just keep hovering there above the ground. Keep pressing into your fingertips and your head evenly. You might be able to get your feet up. Move your knees in closer to your shoulders, your armpits. If you feel very uncomfortable with both of these, knees on the ground, just forehead on the ground, and just roll your whole up your hips over your knees. If it's too uncomfortable the back of the neck, you just walk your head out a little bit further away from your knees. Imagine trying to push your belly button through your lower back. Now remain still. Bring your attention to the seat of divine perception located between your eyebrows. They say if you bring 100% of your focus there, your attention, you will eventually experience divine bliss. But you must do it with faith, with full intention, devotion to God, with full attention. Start to make your way down if you're in headstand gracefully or wherever you're at. Roll back into child's pose. Rest for a moment. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften everything. And coming up. Now take your legs out in front. We're going to come into shoulder stand. Let's roll right into it from a seated position. So start sitting at the front edge of the mat so you have lots of mat behind you. And then you're just going to roll back onto your back. And when your hips come up, you bring your hands to your seat and you come up. If it's too much, keep your legs straight up. You can just keep your knees bent close to your forehead. Try to move your elbows closer together. And then when you push into your lower back, push your hips forward. You might be able to find that straighter line. Try to get your toes in line with your shoulders. Press your hips forward. Those who have a lotus, go ahead into your lotus. Pull the foot in. Use one hand if you need to get into your lotus. If you're right on top of your shoulders, you can also take your hands to your thighs. You can do this whether your legs are in lotus or not, or straight up. Push your knees higher than your hips if you're in Padmasana. Close your eyes again, bring your attention to the seat of divine perception. We call it Thukuti, the brow center. Keep on trying to merge with the divine supreme consciousness. Keep thinking slow. Imagining that resonates all throughout your being. I am you, you are me. I am that I am. Now, if you're in lotus, come into Padmasana, bring your thighs against your body. It might be up to you if you're on the top of your shoulders, wrap your arms around your legs and join your hands underneath your seat. Other variations or the other options, if you don't have a lotus, pose. First, bring your feet to the ground behind your head, push on your back so your hips are over your shoulders, your feet will come down lower, right to the ground perhaps. If you can drop your knees down right beside your head. Squeeze your ears, withdraw from your senses, your ears and your eyes. Don't be distracted by any incoming. So you're not distracted by any incoming distractions. Sounds, sights. Be unaffected by all of them. We're going to get ready to come into fish. So I'm going to come down slowly. You can keep your lotus if you like. Go into lotus fish. Otherwise, bring your hands behind your back, your index fingers and your thumb tips touching. When your back comes down, your seat will land on your wrists, and then bring your legs all the way down. From here, push into your hands, into your elbows, push your chest up, and bring the top of the head to the ground. Try to get your chest as high as possible. If you're feeling strong, you can lift your legs up. This is if your legs are extended. If you were in lotus, then I think you know, most of the people know what to do. If they're already in the lotus, you push into your lower arms, lift your chest, bring your head down, and then you hold your feet. Try to get your elbows and your knees to come down and stay down. Now beam love out of your heart in every direction. This is why you try to get your chest up as high as possible to have more of a reach. Now from here, bring your feet back down if they're up and point, and then slide your feet right in close to the seat. Urdhva Nirasana. I'll just show quickly the lowest one. So if you're in fish, you can come out for a moment to look. So if you're doing the fish, the Padmasana version, you bring your hands beside your head, and you kind of scoot your head in. I'm slipping because my knees are not on the mat. So just give me a second. So you can just try to get your head down, even grab the edge of the mat, sometimes it's easier. And then slide your head in as much as you can, pull the mat and lift your head up. So you have to have quite a bit of strength to do this. This is just not doable. You can just bring your feet against your seat, about hip width apart, hips width the height. Bring your fingertips on either side of the head, lift your hips up. You can stay on the top of the head or take a hot breath in and lift all the way up. Even lift your heels. Walk your hands in a little bit, rock back and forth. Try to get your chest in front of your arms. Straighten your legs and arms as much as you can to form a deeper arch, a higher arch. Push into your hands. Push into the roots of your toes if your heels are up, or your feet, no matter. Stay up. And then lower down. Heels first if they're up, and then come down. Rest for a moment, breathe in. Breathe out, soften everything. Good, now from here, we're going to stay on our back. Slide your, bring your right leg up. Now if you have very tight hamstrings, you can slide your left foot in a little bit and bring the right foot up. Hold the ankle and bring the knee onto your shoulder. Tug on the foot so the foot comes closer to the head. feel comfortable, you slide your left leg out flat or keep your left leg flat. From here, half happy baby pose. You can bring a right knee, slip it out to the side, just underneath your arm. Your heel is over the back of the knee, same line. Now you can stay here. Those who are still tight can see if you can get your foot down to the ground so it looks like ballet pose that we did before, but just lying on your back. Those who are more flexible, take your right shoulder in front of your knee and just push into the back knee. Try to get your knee high, close to the ear. Slide your left foot in if you need to. Again, lift your head, pull in the foot, push the foot as far back as you can so you can eventually get behind your head. Push the back of the head, keep pushing with your shoulder. Again, just use that left leg to keep yourself compact. It might give you a little bit more room to maneuver. You can straighten your leg, go ahead. If you have the full pose, cross both feet behind your head. And then you can bring your hands in prayer, or if you have flexibility again, wrap your hands underneath your back. Try to push your feet to the ground by pushing with the back of the head. And breathe from the base, from the chest all the way up to the space between the eyebrows and back down. These are all options. Go to where it's suitable for you. Now, if you are not in the full pose, switch legs. So we'll just stay there. If you have both legs behind your head, I'll just do the other side. Left foot up. And bring your knee to the shoulder to start. Pull on the foot, try to get it closer to your head. Bring the right foot in if you need to. Otherwise, still the right heel out a little bit further. Come into half baby pose, half happy baby pose. The knee comes right underneath your arm, close to the armpit. And then from here, some of you might just take your foot out to the side if you can, or slide your right foot in as you need to. Take your left shoulder in front of the knee. Again, make your way into trying to get your leg behind your head. Move your left shoulder higher by pushing to the back of the knee. Lift your head up and see if you can get your foot to come back, and then your head up. Tuck your chin in so you can get your leg behind your head. Not important if you can't get the leg behind your head. Just do your best. Again, continue with the breathing from the heart to the space between the eyebrows and back. Release. Just windshield wiper your legs a little bit. Go from one side to the other with your feet. Flip them back and forth, side to side. I mean, arms over the head. Come up to seated. Good. Now from here, make your way onto your belly. Let's start with Cobra. Lift your hands underneath your shoulders, or hold on the outer edge, the top edge of the mat. Move your eyebrows in line with your top of the mat, and then lift your head. You can even stay here if this is better for you right now. In Sphinx Pose, anchor down to the lower body, but eventually see if you can lift your elbows up if you feel apt to do so. Curve your spine, bring your head back. Drop your shoulders down. Make sure again you're not tight in your neck and you're not losing it between your shoulders and your ears. Eventually you might be able to walk your hands closer and closer. Come up higher. You want to try King Cobra, separate your feet a little bit. Come out your fingertips, have them as close to your hips as possible. And try and think about getting long. So the whole torso is up off the mat, just the tops of just where the legs join onto your hips. That's where your contact is with the ground. Bring your feet up. Squeeze those imaginary socks behind your knees. And maybe at some point, Your feet will touch your head. Those who are more advanced and flexible, you can take one hand to the knee, outside of one knee, and then the other hand. You can start here, and then if you pull, your toes will stay in the pose. Option for advanced practitioners, of course. Know your limitations. Good. From here, tuck your chin in and then roll forward onto your belly if you are not one, and come down. All others, come down softly. Breathe in, breathe out. All fatigue. Good. All right, last back bend. Let's work on forearm balance. So you can come to a wall if you need to. And you would maybe, so you can, actually I'm not sure if I'll be able to show it easily, but okay, well I'll pretend that, imagine there's a wall in front of me. Okay, so what you want to do is make sure that your elbows are no wider than the shoulders, even closer. Your fingers are spread, okay, like this. Really anchor down to the arms. Then from here, you lift your seat, walk your feet towards your elbows. Imagine them facing a wall. And then from here, you try to push one foot into the wall. And then you take your other leg back. And then you just keep you just try to pull your toes away from the wall. So this way you're not creating too much dependency on the wall. And then for all others, you just try to find a balance this way. So again, don't jump too hard. Do it nice and light. Just pulse up and down off the heel. And you can even just keep your heel on the ground the whole time. Just lift up right onto your toes. Try to get drive your knee into your body so that it helps you get a little bit more lift at the hips, eventually come up. Your foot's always in sight in front of you. So move in a way that it's not so fast that your leg goes way over your head too fast. This is how you land on your back. Other options, start with your head down. Between your wrists, or just behind your wrists, and then push into your arms, press your fingertips, and just tilt your head forward and up. Look towards your fingertips. Just like you're coming into your Cobra. Okay, so try that for a few moments. Good. Just give it a try. Remember, it's the effort that counts. One more try. Just keep pulsing up and down very softly. Keep pushing through the foot that's behind you. Flex your toes. Push into your arms. Just get a little bit of buoyancy. Just getting like this, nice and light and easy. Imagine yourself in the pose. Eventually, you don't think too much, don't get too attached to the results. Offer it up. This might just come on its own easily, more easily. But be committed to practicing, regardless. So come back down. Rest in child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Roll up. Twist. Left leg in front. Right foot on the other side of the leg. With your heel and your foot, with your foot somewhere between your knee and your ankle. Okay, so not too close. Right hand behind the center of the back. Left arm up, reach up, and take hold of the outside of the thigh. Press the forearm against the thigh. Inhale, push the lower back up and in. Exhale, turn to the right. Make sure that the seat, the right hip doesn't ride up. Try to push it down. Lengthen both sides of the body evenly. Not just the eyes look, not just the eyes turn. The whole body From the base of the spine all the way up. Try to imagine that spiraling action right up through the back, the spine. Push your right shoulder back. Keep pushing your knee towards your left, beyond your left edge of your body, so that you free your abdomen so you can spin a little bit more. The twist will help to remove toxins and impurities. Release, go to the other side. Make sure your left leg doesn't go lazy and just drop out to the side, knee and toes pointing up. Left hand right down the center, like right against the center of the back. Don't lean back. Okay, the hand should be close as possible. Right arm up, go to the left. Push the lower back up and in. Sit tall and supreme and proud. Look over your left shoulder. So be tall and supreme in every sense, mentally as well, spiritually. Just keep on trying to merge with all beings, all forms. When you copy them and imitate them, physically and mentally, you cultivate a love for them as well when you start to see their virtuous qualities. And every form is divine manifestation, divine reflection of God. Release, lower yourself onto your back. Softly. Coming into deep relaxation now. The very effective antidote for removing impurities even more. And this is the point at which all the benefits integrate into the body through the act of letting go and surrendering to all the incoming gifts and benefits. Just settle into a state that allows you to be receptive. Let go physically, mentally, emotionally. Accept it all with gratitude. So now a little bit of some instructions in order to help you to come deeper into that surrender state. Let's bring your attention to your left foot. Relax all the toes from the big toe down to little toe. Feel them just become listless, limp. The palm of the foot and heel soft, no tension. The front of the foot, as I say, the instep also soft, no tightness. The ankle joint loose. Lower leg, soften all the muscles. Feel them relax. The leg gets heavy. All the muscles just falling, hanging off the bones. The knee joint inactive, just completely soft. And the upper leg, the thigh, relax all the muscles there. Feel as though they just dissolved into softness. Just heavy mass of tissue. Now the right foot. Relax all the toes from the big toe down to little toe. Feel them just released of all tension and tightness. Let them droop. And the bottom of the foot and heel soft. No tightness or tension. The top of the foot, the instep very soft. Ankle loose so that the foot falls out to the side lifelessly. The lower leg, calf, shin relaxed. Passing up through the knee, which is inactive, to the upper leg, the thigh. Also feels all those muscles just dissolved into softness. With all the strength moved from the muscles, they just feel heavy. And the hips and the pelvis sinking down, extremely heavy. Like an anchor falling to the bottom of the lake, pulling the body down. Left hand, relax all the fingers, allow them to Wrist completely loose and lifeless. Hand just hangs off of it flimsily. And the forearm soft. All the muscles relaxed. Passing through the elbow up to the upper arm. Relax all those muscles as well. The shoulder, no tightness. Just there again, holding the arm down, anchoring that arm down as it lies there like dead weight. Right hand now. Release all the tension from the fingers. Allow them to just be heavy on the ground. Limp, dead-like. Back of the hand as well. Palm of the hand soft, no tension whatsoever. The wrist loose. So the hand again just falls, hangs off it lifelessly. Lower arm heavy. As you make your way to the upper arm, heavy as well. That right shoulder, any tightness you feel, any restriction, let it all go. Feel as though it just drained right out of the shoulder, leaving it heavy, leaving the whole arm just lifeless, dead-like on the ground, resting there. All across the collarbone, softness. Feel the back just sinking down heavily, the whole back. So there are weights sitting right, or a big lead blanket sitting right on the inside of the body against the back, just allowing everything to sink and melt into the ground. The abdomen, soft, no tightness, no feeling of tension or tightness, heavy. The chest, relaxed, but light, so that the breath can just continue. The breath is just ever so soft, light as well, effortless. All the organs, just imagine them heavy on the digestive system, the lungs, everything just getting to the point where they just become sluggish and just stop functioning altogether. So even the blood and the nerves just stop circulating, everything's still. The head, heavy on the ground as well. The neck, scalp, completely relaxed, not feeling the weight at all, not bothered by it. Forehead smooth, no signs of tension, no frown lines. The eyes, the eyebrows, soft, relaxed. The nose and the cheeks, the lips, everything very soft, relaxed. The jaw, no clenching, no teeth grinding, completely relaxed. And the brain as well, finally going within, space between the ears and behind the face. The brain becomes quiet, turn off all the chatter, all the incessant chatter of the mind, just all the functions that has to take care of the body, all the thoughts swimming around, just allow it to all go quiet. In that quietness, just continue to observe the body in its stillness, lovingly, like the witness, like God who watches upon all with unconditional love. Merge with God now, for God is within all beings. Become one with that divine essence within. And in doing so, you merge with all beings as well. Become one with all beings. I am you, you are me. I am that I am. bring your consciousness, your awareness back to the body. Once again, come back into your physical form. Prepare to sit up, always in a way that is reverent, that is quiet. Keep your eyes closed. Continue being like the witness, just watching all the movements of the body. Once you're seated, sit tall and straight. And ever supreme, no matter what you encounter, whatever experiences, whatever interactions, know that they all serve a purpose to teach us all that we need to in order to grow spiritually, in order to come closer to our true nature, which is divine. Which is eternal, which is boundless in its capacity for giving love to all beings, for being compassionate, for being wise, for helping others to on their path to self-realization. And it just starts off by being kind to all, seeing yourself in others, seeing God in others. If you see God in others, you eventually come to the realization that it is absolutely unthinkable to harm or to incur pain or suffering. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Receptive to the divine grace of God. All is within. Namaste. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. See you soon.